The whole purpose of that stream is to improve their competition performances, develop their skills, okay, looking at their starts and turns in comparison to their competitors, improve their technique, make sure they're improving their technique against the world's best. So finding out what is happening with the world's best athletes and trying to introduce that to our young kids early enough so that we're implementing that. Training standards, obviously, you know, what kind of work do they need to do, making sure that we're tracking and monitoring that, and then providing them group and individual support services. What that means, and this will be played out in this presentation, is you take a group of 12-year-olds, you put them in the pool, you're going to have different levels of ability and different standards of technique, okay? So you need to really assess what do we need to do first, what's the most important thing to do with these kids, and we develop that focus. And then when they get a little bit older, there's some more individual things that you need to look at. You know, they might have school, they need a training schedule that complements their schooling. They might have a particular injury that they need to manage, okay? They might have they might be a late starter, so we need to manage their training loads. We need to start really addressing that. So for us, as we move these kids through that pathway, we need to really be sure that we have in place information and expertise around them that's helping us guide their programs so that we can get them to reach their full potential and stay in the sport as long as possible. We all know that not everyone's going to peak their performances at the same exact time, whether it be they're a late developer physically or their commitment level, their attitude, you know, isn't right there early. A number of different things that we have to manage. But if you have a collection of people around you who are looking at a specific area and giving you advice coming back to our ultimate goal, which is performing, you tend to get you make decisions at a greater rate.
Thank you for your presentation. And I was looking at your performance stream as opposed to the learn to swim.
Yep.
And I see you start your program at the age of 12, right? And I am pretty interested to know, maybe if you can share some secrets, because at the age of 12, the swimmers are still young, and they go to school. Some of them may be still in primary, and they're not mature enough. They don't have a goal, maybe, and maybe they are interested in other sports and whatever. But what do you do when you have them for swimming for training? Let's say, what's their workload for that day training, or how many hours do they train a day? Do you get them to specialize at this age, like you're a breaststroker or you're a butterfly, or do you do all the strokes? I'm just kind of keen.
Okay, so the performance stream starts at the National Age Development. Roughly, this group here, actually this squad here is the same age, just lower level of performance. So under 12 and under. The National Age Development, so this first blue box, is the best competitive swimmers. So they're selected on performance. They have that, what I call that competitive intelligence, the thing that I think they want to race and be good. All we do is give them, they don't do any more training sessions than this group. They do the same number, so physiologically what they require. They might swim 5 times a week and do 2 dry land sessions. And so there's no increase. What we do is we start focusing on more range and more of the functional aspects of what they're going to require moving forward as an athlete when they progress physiologically. We don't specialize in strokes. We focus on individual medley training as the basis and improving their physiology. So starting to look at making sure that I basically have more influence on that group and what they're doing so that I can start tracking them through to my group. So if there's 24 swimmers in that National Age Development, statistically, two will make it to me. That's the reality. It doesn't matter. So we just try to make sure that those 2 get there better than if they just randomly by chance got there. But number of sessions doesn't change, and they focus on medley training.